Yes, welcome to the show today, fellas. It's taken me quite a few days to be able to sit down and do this show. In fact, I went off on a tangent rant and did a show yesterday on virgins. And then I posted on my forum an entire post on virgins. And I basically said, because the fellow that's I'm going to do the show on, he's a 30-year-old virgin, and that just freaked me out. I'm sorry, uh, but my message to some of you virgins, and you don't like the show that I did. You have two choices. If you're over 25, get a professional, or two, get a starter hoe. And I wrote, if you're like the guy who wrote me, and this freaked me out because he is a 30-year-old virgin, then you only have two choices. Getting a girlfriend is not an option. You're too creepy by then. Okay? If you're an older virgin, you've done creeped yourself out. Don't bother trying to get a girlfriend. All you'll meet is just failure. Go find a professional, or do what I call get a starter hoe. That's basically just an average chick to learn to uncreepify yourself. It is a word, I made it up myself. To uncreepify yourself, or to make yourself more normalized. Because by the time as you'll see in this guy's message here, by the time you get to older age, after 19, 20, 21, you're starting to become creepy. Okay? You may not see it, but that's why women get a bad reaction around you. You don't realize what your energy is doing to them. Now, my show that I did on this is only available to the members on my site. It will be up actually tonight, today being Sunday. But I'm going to go ahead and start and try to make it through this. I'm going to analyze this guy's shit for him. I will try to maybe put up the show for you guys in the free section also, because I think some of you guys who are virgins, you need to hear what I have to say. You totally need to hear what I have to say. It is not an honor being a 30-year-old virgin. It is an insult to every man that has lived before you. It is an insult to your father, to your grandfather, to your father's father, going back to the beginning of time. You are not cool. You are not super James Bond. You are not super mysterious. You're just a creep. You have made yourself that way. But let's read this. I work with a woman, and these guys, they always seem to have an issue with women. There's always one woman, okay, they done creeped out on. And I couldn't read this. I skimmed it. I saw it immediately stood out to me, the 30-year-old virgin thing, and I ran. And I apologize. I admit it freaked me out for a few days. I run into this kind of thing in this pickup artist community over and over again. Pockets of guys hiding out amongst normal dudes who are trying to fix their problems, who have created such a phobia condition about themselves. And it just turns my stomach. No offense to the fella, but you've got to do one of those two things. Fuck the bullshit. Fuck trying to find a Miss Perfect female or a hot female. You're not worthy of it. Creepy guys get none. You got to learn to work with some pussy. So first you guys need to listen to my show, period. Okay, he writes, I work with a woman who seems to be able to peep my game. I'm not trying to deal with her since she's been living with a dude for 3 years. I know not to go after work girls, so I pretty much tried to stay away from her, though we work in the same department, just 2 cubicles away. These sound like excuses. You either stay away or you do not. You either have conversation or you do not. There's no in between. Not in this type of situation. So obviously he gravitates to her. Well, let's find out. I don't know actually what's going to happen here. I'm the only man in the department of 4. I try to say as little as possible and keep it aloof because these women are out of this world beautiful, and I'm a 30-year-old virgin. Each time I talk to her, It's as if no matter how hard I try, I begin to tell her inadvertently my way of thinking as training with women I really like. When you're a virgin, you don't have any way of thinking. You don't deserve any way of thinking. Okay? Because you're not a man yet. I'm sorry, you're not a real man yet. A real man handles pussy. He also handles his life, and he's learned to handle his issues and overcome them. So you don't deserve to impress your opinion on any females out there until you learn how to handle them. Understand that, fellas, if you're a virgin. Let's continue here. I begin to tell inadvertently blah, blah, blah with the women I really like. But sometimes she puts in things that lead me to say, I believe what my game is. In parentheses, why it seems that I'm not chasing her as other guys in the company are. They never understand me. They complain because I'm too headstrong and sure of myself. A lot of guys who are virgins, they'll put up that act like that to hide behind. I don't like walls. Like when I'm with a woman, I don't like walls. I don't want a woman to put up this act on me, and I don't want to put up an act on her. He goes, about all my friends are in their 80s plus. About all my friends are in their 80s plus. This guy's 30, hanging out with guys who are almost decrepit, like my father's age. So my mindset and reasoning is from the World War II generation. This reminds me of let me go up here and show you guys a photo. Not those idiots. You see this all the time. Hot chicks that'll hang out with fat chicks. They do it to make themselves feel better. Same kind of situation. Young guy hanging out with old guys. Because he can't make friends his own age. So these guys, it makes them, it's like a parasitic relationship. It makes them feel younger to have a young guy talk to them and listen to their stories. Because old guys, I'm starting to do the same thing, but they like to tell stories of their life. And when you got a young idiot to listen, they got an audience. And he can look up to them, admire them, and worship, their generation stuff, which isn't a bad thing, but let's see if I can scroll on down here to this message. Back to the message. He writes, I was warned to leave her alone. Okay? That tells me that he has creeped her out to the point that she has complained. And now management has had to warn him. He's the creepy little guy running around with this big ego attitude. That will lead him to being fired. My older brother was 6'8" with that same type of attitude. He thought he put up that wall that he was smarter than everybody else and better than everybody else to hide his insecure problems. Little guys will do the same thing. Guys who are virgins will do the same thing because they know that you guys who are virgins, it's not normal. And I suggest you do listen to my show because I go into a lot of the issues you guys have that you're hiding behind. For example, some of you guys will use that I only want to do a hot girl thing. That's really just to hide behind. You don't deserve a hot girl. You're a virgin. Why subject a hot girl to a virgin who does not handle himself in bed? I mean, duh. Let's be logical here. Some guys will use that thing of, I'm afraid of diseases. Nerds will do that. You're a nerd. Period. You hide behind nerd shit. Let's get real here. And be blunt about it. Women don't like nerds. Nerds are creepy. A lot of nerds end up virgins. When you get to the point where you are warned to leave someone alone at work, you're not even aware of how you're coming across and what you're doing. That is dangerous. A job is hard to replace these days. Now this fella, he'll probably walk around with this, with the hate vibe off of himself because he got warned to leave her alone. And everyone else can tell around you. So you're giving off a vibe and you're poisoning the office now. All because he had that creepy vibe and staring at a female, crushing on her, obviously crushing on a bitch at work. It's obvious in this post here. He was crushing on her. You guys know I can see right through bullshit and see the truth. Crushing on her. And he says, as she is a cute hood rat. Hood rats and women in general, they want to fuck with a motherfucker at work because they like the attention. And she could tell this motherfucker likes her. She's not fooled. Even if you act like you don't want to chase after her, she could feel your vibe. You can't hide from women when you're crushing on them. You can't hide. They'll smell you out. Remember, women are like dogs. A dog in fear. They could smell it on you. You guys think that women are stupid. That's what really, as smart as some of you guys are, you really think that women are stupid? That they don't have senses and skills in this game? This female can get this dude fired so fast. That's how much power they know they have in the workplace. She's already started the process. And what's fucked up is because he's doing the I won't give her attention thing, she's going to eliminate him from the office. Find a guy that will give her attention, that she can control. Plus, he's got the creepy thing. And that's probably what really irritates her about him, is he's got that creepy vibe. And she don't want to be around creepy guys. So this is her whole process to get him out of the office, period. Engaging him so that she can get him to say the wrong thing. She knows he's weird, so she's going to engage him so that she can go back to the upper management. And that's how women operate. He writes, the kind you wouldn't think is one at first sight in conversation. That she can eat me alive. Obviously. There are some hood rats who have game, period. I really did not intend to get too deep, but to get her strength. See, he's going into weird zone. It's this weird shit. To get her strength? I see what I did after the fact and before, but the convo's going so deep that I sometimes give away my past defeats and the fact that women used to take me out and do all sorts of things when I didn't even know what the word game meant. She said, oh, so you're a pimp with women. You don't go after them. You let them come to you. You don't get all goosebumpy, though they try to rouse you up, huh? I replied that I think if you like someone, it should be mutual. And just having this conversation at work with a woman, she can get you on sexual harassment. You nerdlets, you need to read the rules at your office. You shouldn't be engaged in any conversation like this at a work environment. Or off the work environment, too, if it's someone that you work with. Because she can get you for stressing her off the job, too. But definitely, on company grounds, you shouldn't be talking about none of this stuff with the female. And she's got him now. Because he opened his mouth. That ego thing of his and that fear thing of his, he ran off at the mouth. So, going on here, I replied that I think if you like someone, it should be mutual. Why should I have to chase someone when I know you were made to want the same thing? You chase me and I'll chase you back. We both get to have mutual pleasure and fun. Uh-oh. This is another... shit. Okay. Virgins should not be reading The Pimp Game. This is a book that's for higher players. A virgin should not have even ordered this stuff because all he's going to do is use this to alienate himself even more from the rest of the world. That's all he's going to do. He's looking for things to support his creepiness, his world that he's created for himself, his self-delusional world that he's created for himself. That's all you're doing. And I'm sure he'll hear the show. That's all you're doing, buddy, is you're putting yourself further and further away from normalism. God didn't create kings to chase those placed under his care. That's foolishness. And those words never should have been said to her. You never should have said that to that female. Ever. You don't deserve to even say these words. When you're a virgin, fellas, you're not a man yet. I'm sorry. As I said, a man handles the shit and does what a man's supposed to do. A king would have fucked about a thousand women by now. By the time he's 30, he would have fucked at least 1,000 women. Fuck it. In the old days. Kings are the reason why you can only have one wife. They're the ones who did that to us. Before that, men had multiple wives. But no, the king wanted more women in his larder for his dick in his harem. So he got together, if you nerds, Google it. The truth is out there. He got together with church and state, basically, and passed as a law. You can only have one wife. To me, that's irritating to know that that's the reason why. Just so a king could have more. You know, that actually angers me, but let's get on back to this shit. This fella shouldn't even be talking about kings. When you're at the stage, a virgin is at the stage of not even a baby that crawls. He's wiggling. You're a wiggly worm on the ground. You got to learn how to crawl first. And he's a wiggly worm trying to act like he's the chicken hawk, soaring in the sky. No. That's what I say about wearing this stuff like a mask. You can create a whole world of self-delusion, but you are who you are inside. And if you didn't have that fear going on within you of women and have some fucked up mental issues, you'd have handled that shit. As I said, either through a professional, and nerds will get fear, as I say in my show. What if she has a disease? I don't want to get a disease. Hey, the chances are actually emphatically 0.98% of me contacting blah blah. They read that shit and freak out over it. I said, get a high class hoe, call girl. I say it right here. Or go get a starter hoe, and she could be a fat bitch, like the one I showed earlier. I don't recommend for the normal guys, you have to get a fat bitch, but for you virgins, just get your dick wet. I don't care if your dick doesn't get hard, just stick your dick in the pussy with a condom on it, with it soft, that way you can no longer carry that stigma of being a virgin. And I talk about that in my show, how the energy of a virgin creeps people out. You think you're hiding? Just the very fact that you're trying to hide creates a creepy vibe about you. That's what it is about the one friend I had, because he was hiding his own sexual stuff going on. It made him creepy. The fact is you're hiding something. You got to do all the hiding stuff. There's a whole process you got to do to hide stuff. A whole mental process. And that mental process makes you creepy. You don't feel right to normal people. And normal people still have the ancient caveman instinct about them. In the primitive days, we had to be able to feel a person out to see if they're a friend or foe. Well, when you're in that, you either come off like a friend with the friend vibe, or you're foe. You're creepy. That means foe. That's why it's hard for a virgin, the later he gets in life, to get laid. You even creep out prostitutes. So get that shit handled so that you can say, at least say, you know what? I'm not a virgin anymore. I got my dick in the pussy. Then you can say, you no longer have to carry that stigma. He writes, this is where I think I gave up my power. You don't have any power when you're a virgin. You're a little man sitting there with big ego ideas. That's it. The moment you guys can accept the truth, that's the moment when you can start working beyond it, out of the worlds you create for yourself. I know this sounds harsh and brutal, but sometimes people need a brutal awakening. Like this fella's 30 years of age. How much longer we got to continue this? He's going to continue this menagerie that he's living out. This is where I think I gave my power. Her reply after a little more talking was, I think I understand you now. She then confirmed that I had her number and to feel free to contact her if I needed to let her know anything, presumably about the job or other queries. I was trying to peep game and experience from her. Get your virgin status handled, then worry about the game. At this age, the only thing, if you're over 25 and you're a virgin, don't try to learn game. Don't try to absorb game. Don't try to get game. Get the virgin status handled first. When you can sit back and say, you know what, on the bus ride home after seeing a call girl or a fat bitch or whatever, an ugly bitch or skinny bitch, whatever, you can sit back and say, I'm not a virgin anymore. Now it's time for me to grow as a man. Until then, you can't grow. You cannot grow, fellas. As long as that stigma is in front of you, that obstacle is in front of you, you're going to keep butting your head against the wall. And you don't want to build a false world around yourself, because that's living in falsehood. Look at this fella. I was warned to leave her alone. Who gets that at work? Except creepy people. They're the ones who always get that shit. Or losers. There's another type that'll get warned to leave people alone. But losers are creepy too. There's losers out there, get a crush on a girl and try to stalk her and stuff. That's really creepy. So it boils down, only creepy people get that shit. Creepy people. Let me enunciate that properly. Creepy people. Picture in your head a guy with big bug eyes and a big forehead, receding hairline, little body, walking around thinking he's the baddest thing around. Crushing on the bitch, trying to release to her to make himself feel like a pimp when you haven't accomplished a pimp's goal. You don't deserve a pimp status, but trying to act like one. She gets his number all right. She can see right through his ass. Words around. Women know that have been there. All she got to do is ask. And women do talk. All the other women that have been there before, that have been with him for any length of time, she knows this story. They figure you out. This is why work is a dangerous place. A dangerous place. Let's continue. He said, I was trying to peep game and experience from her, but I suppose her wily femininity figured out why I wasn't drooling all over her. Yes, she knew it was all an act. Because your voice gives her it away. Your eyes give it away. Your body language, your vibe gives it away. No woman has ever said that she understood me. Especially a younger woman. That's my problem. I have nothing in common with them because my mind is 70 years in the past. You put your mind 70 years in the past. And as long as you keep it like that, you always will be weird to women around you. You can go down to the Amish people and get a wife. Go down to the people who live in Utah and get a wife. You can do the Asian girls. You're probably Caucasian, so that's why a lot of you guys end up with Asian girls who are like you. But handling normal chicks in this country, it ain't going to work. A 30-year-old with a 70-year-old's trying to act like he's 7 years of age. It's weird. And it's creepy. It's creepy to me. I'm almost 70. I'm 51. And that's creepy to me. He writes, forgive the length of this, but I really feel that my lifelong pride is being a mystery. In being a mystery is faltering with the first woman I really need to watch out for and can't let her know my buttons to test and conquer me. Women are not your enemy. Now notice how this fellow says his lifelong pride in being a mystery. This makes me want to get every motherfucking pickup artist and just strangle the fucking life out of them. Just with my bare fucking hands. For getting people to try to be a mystery. Look how far he's taken this shit. Because he probably read somewhere that you want to be a mystery to women. That's why I tell you fellas 70-30. Just so you don't get all fucked up in the head like this. This type of guys are those A1, A2, A3, just word for word people. Overanalyze stuff, like he's overanalyzing this stuff right now with this female. Got himself into trouble. I was warned to leave her alone. Type of trouble. That means the big bosses are looking at him. That means there's a report filed. That means there's paperwork on it. That means he's now under scrutiny. Trying to be a mystery. That is your insecurity and your fear that's causing you virgins to want to be a mystery to women. You have no game, period. You learn game between a woman's legs. That's the first place. You learn game by being in some type of relationship with them, whether fuck buddy or boyfriend, girlfriend. That's where you learn the game of handling women. You don't learn to handle women by theorizing about it and remaining a mystery and having very little contact or just social contact at work with them. Work is for work, not trying to figure females out. You start talking this kind of stuff to females, they can get your ass fired. And today is not the economy to get fired in. You got rent to pay, you got car note to pay, you got car insurance, you got your gas, your electricity, your cable, your internet. You got your clothes, you got your food, you got your medical insurance. I'm just naming just a few things. You got the bills that come in. You got savings. You got your vacation at risk. Your retirement, because he's obviously doing the sheep route. Going to work 40 years. As I said, I believe I said at my Virgin show, work 40 years. Actually, I didn't say it in the Virgin show. I said another show. Work 40 years, get a wife, die. That's it. That's the route he's on. So how about this? Work 40 years, uncreepify yourself in the process, get a wife, 2.5 kids, have your vacations, have your cottage in the mountains, your boat, die. That's life right there. At least do that. Sitting over there trying to be a mystery. Huh? Trying to be a mystery. See, he's invented this world of him against everyone else. I have to be a mystery. I don't want anybody to find out about me. I'm special. And I did that to myself way back when I was in high school. Because I was smarter than the people around me. And I read books. I thought I was special because I read sci-fi books. Wasn't special. When I got to college, there were other smart black guys there. I didn't know other smart black guys existed. I had low opinion of my race and myself then. That's all there was. That I was hiding behind. Trying to be a mystery. And I used to comb my hair backwards, and I had the widow's peak. Looked like a black Dracula. I admired Spock. Because I wanted to be like the left brain people and be a mystery. I walked around with my hands behind my back. I really did this. But I had enough manhood to go out and get the balls to ask my first girlfriend out. And I know how hard it is. And in the process of dating her, she did something that woke me up. She kept fucking with me. She wanted to break my non-emotional stuff that I was trying to put out. And I said that's not logical to her. She slapped the shit out of me. Now you got to understand that I had a lifetime of getting the shit slapped out of me by my mother. That and the extension cord and the beatings, the broomsticks. So it all came back to me, and I realized I did have emotions. I read it out and knocked the shit out of her. I slapped her ass all the way across the room, up against the wall. And I never tried to pretend to be something I wasn't again after that. I'm not condoning hitting women. But I needed that wake up. Like this fella needs a wake up. If I was around in his presence, I'd slap the shit out of him like a bitch. Just to wake him the fuck up. You look like a fool at work, thinking you're being all mysterious and shit. You look stupid. I could feel the stupidity coming out of his post here. I could picture what he looks like at work, what the women's whisper about him. And he thinks he's being special and mysterious. You look like a goddamn fool. It's no wonder why they don't want to fuck with you at work. Mystery is faltering with the first woman I really need to watch out for. She's not the first one. All of them were the ones you need to watch out for. Because they all can look right through your bullshit. They just let you assume that you think you got it together. They're playing you. Like women play men. You have zero game. Period. And you should not have been ordering this product until you learn to handle some pussy. This is what irritates me about people getting access to higher levels of game. Just reading the stuff. Listening to the stuff. You're not ready for that. Handle this bottom shit and work your way up. My buttons to test and conquer me. There's nothing to conquer. Nobody wants you. That's just it. Fella, wake up. They don't want you. You're creepy. They want you gone. So you could better start changing yourself and normalizing yourself and being a normal human being. Quit hanging out with those 80-year-old motherfuckers and get some friends your own age. You'll realize that, like I used to be like this. In another setting. I even did the thing where, I'm a dancer now. When I was studying dance, wore my leg warmers and boots to work and, at the phone company to separate myself so I feel special. That's all you're doing. Just so you feel special. Grow the fuck up. Is there anything you can tell me about what you see? I'm telling you what I see. I see a goddamn fool running around trying to be special. Just fucking your life up. And stay off the fucking internet porn. Quit whacking the fuck off so your need goes up. I know you're whacking off. Stroking it out, rubbing it out. To some shit on the fucking computer. Get out of your house at night. Go to a coffee shop. Read a fucking book. And start interacting with people around you. Your own fucking age. Quit thinking that you could do the mindset of someone 7 years older than you. And trying to wear it like a mask. Take that fucking mask off. You're not fooling me. You're not fooling anybody. You look like a damn fool. Just think how all these years you've been running around thinking you're special. You should be embarrassed right now. And I know to you fellas, listen to me, this sounds like some harsh shit, but sometimes you got to be harsh on these motherfuckers to shake them up, to make them realize how they look. I don't say this out of the goodness of my heart. This doesn't give me no pleasure doing this show and saying this shit. I don't get no special good feeling in my balls because I got to destroy this guy's world and wake him up to the truth that he looks like a damn fool. This is the part about this community that creeps me the fuck out. That's why it took me a few days. I couldn't give this show a few days ago. I would have been just ranting the whole fucking time. You know, after reading the words, I was warned to leave her alone. That's some creepy ass, Creepville shit right there. Period. And I hope this motherfucker listens to the entire goddamn show and snaps awake and realizes, you know what? I got to remake myself. Supreme is right. I can't go on like this. I've got to change. And like that one fellow who sent me a long email on YouTube, he showed the process where he changed. He was getting ready to become a George Sodini. Go to YouTube and look for that. He changed himself and got laid. It is this type of mindset that creates George Sodini types. 10 years from now, if he's still not laid, he will be a potential George Sodini. Because he'll be angry by then, trying to be a mystery to women. They're going to take away my power. You don't have any power yet. You've been rubbing your power out. Every time you rub one out, you lose some power. The power is made to be engaged to a female. Your energy is aggressive male. Hers is receiving negative. So it creates a flow of electrons. Or a flow of energy. That's why another reason why I'm not for homosexual sex. Positive and positive, negative and negative. It doesn't create a natural flow of energy. It just is. It's a train wreck. It creates a train wreck of energy, but that's what's happening on the planet. That's another story. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to help guys get that positive, negative flow. That duality. And that's what is needed. The more he's sitting there, not doing what a man should be doing, which is expelling his energy out in a woman, your frustrations out between her legs, your anger, your passion. That's where it belongs, is between her thighs, up in her snatch. That's what that box is there for, to receive it. Roar at the world between her legs, because that's what she's there for, to take it and transmute that energy. You don't get it done by sitting out, creeping yourself out, reading books at home and ebook after ebook, hanging out with old folks because you feel more acceptable. You don't realize that you're in a parasitic relationship with them. It's nice that they have someone that'll sit there and listen to their stories. And I'm talking to this fellow right now, person to person. If you open your eyes, that you have to sit there and listen to them tell you the stories of the old days. And I can see you sitting there with a big goofy grin on your mouth, pretending to really enjoy it. Because you admire their manhood and their strength they had back then. And they know they got a sucker on the leash. They'll sit and listen to them because their own kids won't listen to them. So that's a parasitic relationship. You get something out of it, they get something out of it. But you need friends your own age. Period. Is there anything you can tell me about what you see? And if I am in danger, is there any way I can turn this around? Do you guys see how he puts, if I am in danger? In danger of what? Of looking like a jackass? Too late. Do you see how this fellow's mind is working, fellas? I don't know if he can see me this or not, or if he understands. I'm hoping that me speaking and him listening to this will wake him up. Okay? 2 flags here. I was warned, leave her alone if I'm in danger. Actually, 3rd flag. My pride in being a mystery. If you have game, any of you guys listen to me have game, you can recognize those flags. Right there. Just project your mind outwards, step outside the box, and you can see. That's why you can. Well, when you develop the game, you'll be able to see it. People always wonder why am I always right on? Because I'm awake. I've learned the game. Is there any way I can turn this around? I am learning to peep game and see it in my mistakes. But I now need to learn the hard way, I guess, how to do it in real time. What I know she is doing in real time. The possible Delilah. See how he's now Samson? What he's created? This world? Delusional. Am I in danger? Samson, Delilah. Remained a mystery. Felt you are in danger to yourself and the people around you. You need to get the virgin thing handled and get some regular pussy. I guarantee I don't give a damn if you pay for it, just get some pussy. And pay for it again. Pay for it, give yourself the treat of once a week for a month. Then write to me. And you'll be able to see how crazy you've become. I know you're probably not gonna accept this, because a lot of people fight their waking up in the matrix. You created a matrix for yourself that you're living in, asleep, delusional. Your power. You're a mystery. I hope you listen to this show and wake up and grow the fuck up. I really wish you well, and I'm sorry I have to be brutal to you, but I think you need to be waken up by someone who's already awake. Okay? I'm here to help guys wake up and teach them about the game. I can't teach you anything in the state you're in. You're still a virgin. And what's worse is you created this delusional world for yourself. You've already gotten one warning. I was warned to leave her alone. That should be going off like a warning in your head. But I'm sure you rationalized it by now. And it came up with some excuse. That's a warning right there for you to wake up and realize that you're delusional. You also probably need some professional help. You've been holding on to that virgin status. You got issues with sex, intimacy, or whatever. You're going to need some professional help. Professional in the way of psychiatrists and possibly some hookers or high-class call girls. Or a starter hoe, an unattractive bitch. Anything that you can get your dick wet and start learning to have sex and intimacy with a woman. And don't write me back that I couldn't do someone unattractive. My dick won't get up. I don't care. Consider it an obstacle and learn to overcome that obstacle. Because you got to realize that if your dick can't get up, fellas, that means you're not in control of your body. Okay? And I know that nerds don't have those motor skill or motor connections in the brain, but you can still develop them. While you're whacking off, you could be practicing. You go to the point of orgasm, make yourself stop. And put it away. That's how you learn to control your dick. You do that for a few months, your dick will be rock hard. You won't have a problem with I don't give a fuck if she's not attractive. Your dick will be rock hard. You'll stick the damn dick through her ass. I know that in my show I talk all about the excuses that virgins will use, nerds will use, as to why they're virgins, and I expose all of them. They're all just excuses. There ain't a fucking reason why in this fucking earth why you should be a virgin, period. Except your own fucked up minds. So you gotta learn to deal with that shit and get your shit handled. Peace out, fellas.